I always love a play with low risk, high reward. Today just might be your lucky day for clicking on this video. With analysts expecting only upside, at least according to TradingView on this stock, with a 1-year price target up almost 200%. Now this company also has an insane earnings forecast and is extremely cheap, but let me tell you a little bit about it and what sector it's in. Make sure to like the video to engage the algorithm. Flora Growth Corp, together with its subsidiaries, engages in the growth, cultivation, and development of medicinal cannabis and medicinal cannabis derivative products worldwide. It operates through 3 segments: house of brands, commercial and wholesale, and pharmaceuticals. Now to be a little bit more in particular, they are a multinational cannabis company that manufactures, distributes packaged goods, medicinal cannabis, and pharmaceutical products in all 50 states and 28 countries with 20,000 plus points of distribution around the world. Now, obviously, you have election coming up, which is going to be huge for cannabis as a whole, and we're going to talk about that right now. You recently seen Kamala Harris say that marijuana is currently classified on the same level as heroin, as well as dangerous drugs like fentanyl, but our administration is finally changing that. And then you saw Justice Department takes major step towards rescheduling marijuana. Donald Trump also is in a similar boat as well, which you can see from this tweet right here. As I have previously stated, I believe it is time to end needless arrests and incarcerations of adults for small amounts of marijuana for personal use. We must also implement smart regulations while providing access for adults to safe tested products, so on and so forth, voting yes on Amendment 3 this November. Now in May of 2024, the US DEA announced proposed rules to reschedule cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. The list goes on and on. The point being is there's huge growth in a section that is not even unlocked yet. And FLGC is on the front line of it. First of all, taking a look at their earnings forecast, you can see that their earnings forecasts are to gradually increase into Q1 of 2025, and then based on the numbers that we get going forward, can have a further better forecast. They recently beat earnings in Q2 2024 by 185%. Taking you over to the exact numbers, you can see right here, they beat on net income 94%, as well as diluted EPS 96%, net profit margin 91%, operating income almost 40%. They're down a little bit on cost of revenue as well as revenue as a whole. But based on how the charts are looking, it seems as if investors, analysts are optimistic on this play. Now, the most recent news that this company had was Flora Growth teamed up with cannabis giant Cannabis to enter $94 million Australian medicinal marijuana market. The Australian medical cannabis market size was estimated at $94 million and is projected to grow at a CAGR of 33.6% over the next 6 years. Now, Flora also just appointed a new member as a special advisor, Omar Sharif Jr. Now, Omar Sharif Jr. is recognized for his public advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights, human rights, and social justice as an outspoken advocate. He uses his platform to address issues affecting marginalized communities worldwide. His influence extends across borders, particularly in his efforts to advance visibility and protection for LGBTQ+ individuals in regions where such rights remain deeply challenged and for people living with HIV/AIDS globally. Now, I'm not here to say whether I agree with him or not on his stance for things, but the fact here is that he has a platform and this is going to reach a ton of people, further strengthening Flora as a company. So this is something that you have to note as well. Now, I could go down the line and show you how cannabis is going to become legal, how everybody is always going to be purchasing it, and how the number of money flowing in for cannabis is going to gradually increase, but there's no point because you guys already understand that. Now, Flora Growth isn't just their own company. They have been actively acquiring other companies over the past few years in hopes of expanding their business both in the US as well as globally. Not to mention, the CEO purchased over 1.3 million shares of the company and is a major insider. Again, this company has a very, very small float. The CEO, a serial entrepreneur, financier, and business executive, has arranged over $1 billion in equity and debt financing, raised over $200 million in the cannabis sector, and has multiple successful exits, which is a crucial role when you're an investor looking in at a company and its management. Now, taking a look at the charts really quick, the stock is trading at $1.70. As you can see, it has been slightly making higher highs and higher lows all the way since this low of October of 2023. So 1 year ago, basically, exactly, the stock has been trending higher. If I were to bring in my lottery stocks toolkit, this is what it estimates the stock to do over the next 3.5 months or so, all the way up to about $3.33 by February, March of 2025. Now, even if that price target is off, analysts expect it to go much higher than that, between $5 and $6 over the next year or so, so it seems pretty accurate. Based on the channel the stock is trading in right now, making higher highs and higher lows, recently holding $1.50. The next level I'd want it to break over is $1.77 and ultimately pass $2.05 and close above that for us to start building a base outside of this range like it did back here. It came out, but it just could not hold up. But now that we see some amazing earnings results coming in, the stock is likely to hold higher. Now, remember when I told you they're subsidiaries and they're acquiring many different companies? Well, one of them just happens to be a big deal in Germany, and they're getting their foot in the door in several different parts globally, where cannabis is expected to exceed $33 billion over the next 6 years or so, which you can see that can bring them a ton of money. They also sell several different products. They're well positioned in the THC market as well as CBD, and they have pretty good margins of about 34% and 53% as of Q2 of 2024. If you want to come see this or their website, I'm going to leave it linked probably in the description or pinned in the comments so you guys can go check it out. I also want to know if you're going to be entering FLGC and what you think about this stock in the comments down below. I think it's pretty impressive what they've done, and there are other plays that just have much worse earnings and they're kind of growing a little bit slower. This company seems as if they're doing everything right. The CEO has trust that the stock price will go higher by adding more and not selling any shares. And they're not just small, they're going to go globally. They have platforms, they have the right team members coming in, and they're making the right moves, all in my personal opinion. Nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot tell you what to buy, hold, or sell. But thank you, Sideways Frequency, for sponsoring today's video. And shout out to Flora Growth Cannabis. I'm excited to see what they will do going forward. That is it, guys. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.